Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Chris Anderson Comics. I'm Chris Anderson. I have a special guest today that I would love to introduce you guys to, Mike Boheem. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Great to be here, Chris.
We met like years ago now, and I think it was like the first time I met you was like at LA Comic Con.
No.
No, was it before that?
Emerald City Comic Con.
Well, I think I met you before Emerald City.
Oh, okay.
Just like passingly. And then Emerald City, like Emerald City, we tabled next to each other, which is where we really kind of got to know each other and a little bit. And you had the best pitch. You still, to this day, have the best pitch for anybody that walks by. You want to tell everybody what your pitch is?
My pitch is, this is Dope Cat Comics, and it's about a cat that smokes dope.
I heard that like 500 times over the weekend at Emerald City.
I'm surprised it didn't get old.
That's it. That's it. Brilliant. Boom. Short, sweet, to the point. And guess what? Like, more than half of the people that you said that to came over and were like, oh, yeah? A cat who smokes dope? I'll check this out.
Yeah,
so it fucking works, man.
Seattle, LA, you got to be in the right place for that.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle, I guess, right? But, so I thought I had all the copies of your Dope Cat comics. I'm missing one, Dope Cat and Friends. But so there's 4 out right now, right?
Correct. There's a 5th on the way. It'll be a Kickstarter in September.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So the newest one that you kickstarted was Ride the Purple Dragon.
Yes.
What was the first one that you did?
First one is Dope Cat and Friends.
Okay, so that was the first one. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm missing, of course.
Of course.
Of course. And then there's Dope Cat Hit the Blunt.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take a closer look today at Blaze into High Seas.
A fan favorite.
It is a good one. So, like, let me before we talk about Dope Cat itself, like, when did you like start like looking at comics? Were you a kid?
Sure.
Do you remember when that was?
I was definitely a little kid, and comics were always in the house. And then my dad was an avid reader of all books, like science fiction, fantasy, but also like science books, math, but he just has everything. But he also is into comics. But I think he, as a way to justify getting the comics, he passed it on to me. So it's kind of like he's buying comics for his kid.
Yeah.
But then some of the comics, because I grew up in Berkeley, so some of the comics that he'd buy were definitely not for kids. They're the old underground comics, but it was pretty loose back then. So
yeah,
I got exposed to everything from the old Marvel comics to the underground, which is really great. And then in the same city in Berkeley, one of the first actual comic book shops opened up, Comics and Comics. And so I used to hang out there a lot, and they'd have like all kind of stuff. That I remember they had an amazing fantasy number 15, the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It was like, it was $100, and it's like, oh my God, $100, that's a lot of money. Who's going to spend $100 on that? But then right next to it would be like a Wonder Warthog comic. So you had the whole spectrum, which is cool.
That is really cool. Yeah. I think when I was growing up, the undergrounds, I grew up in Minnesota. So like near the Twin Cities, but still there weren't a lot of underground comics to be found. You'd really have to dig to pull them out. So I didn't get a lot of exposure to that. So growing up in Berkeley must have been just like, were they everywhere? Were they in like the regular comic shops, or were they just in head shops? Did your dad have to make like 2 trips to get his comics?
Yeah, they'd be in the regular comic shops too.
Okay.
It'd be like uh, Berkeley, right off the. It's on Telegraph, which is right next to the campus, and so they're selling to college kids and stuff. I
Yeah.
remember reading the owner of Comics and Comics. When he first opened it, he was saying that the cops would always come in and try and bust them because they
Yeah.
didn't believe that a store was actually selling comics, and they figured he must be selling drugs.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories like that, especially from then. Like, I don't know what year that was, but I know that there was like a lot of like pornography laws and stuff too, that like a lot of the underground comics were getting, like, shops were getting busted for just carrying them because they considered them pornography and stuff like that.
Yeah, actually, one of my comics. So in the mid '90s, I was sending my stuff out to try and get published, and I sent it to Fantagraphics, and they said it was funny animal stuff like Dope Cat 2, but they said that they're not going to publish any funny animal stuff, but they liked
Mhm.
it, so they let me work on it. They had a porno line called Eros,
Yeah.
and that I found out later actually supported a lot all these Love and Rockets and 8 Ball and Hate, all these great comics, but they were making most of their money, I believe, on the Eros comics.
Yeah. Yeah, they were.
They let me do one. It got canceled, and like after 3 issues, it wasn't amazing, but the second one got named in a bus. I think it was in Oklahoma City.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they ran these owners through the ringer. It was mine and Frank Thorne. He did Red Sonja. I forget what the comic he did that got busted, but and then probably another one. But yeah, they lost everything.
Oh my God.
So and
Yeah.
I know the Comic Legal Defense Fund came in, and I think they helped them and everything, but it was just because of what happened with the community and everything. It's just devastating.
It sounds like something that you would have heard about from like the 50s or something like that. It doesn't sound like something that would
The
in the
'90s.
last.
I know it's weird,
Yeah,
but
it's really crazy. But I guess Oklahoma, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to like generalize or anything or make any assumptions, but I guess, yeah, I could see maybe in a place like that something like that would still be in place. That's just still wild. Um, so you were getting a hold of the undergrounds and things like that. So were you as a kid, were you doing a lot of drawing? Were you just messing around copying comics and
yeah, I mean, definitely. The other comics I loved was we used to get reprints of like the original Popeye comic strips, stuff like that. So I like those really old ones that felt a little grittier to them.
yeah.
And yeah, I would copy the characters, and it's really cool being a kid and figuring out the shapes and how you create a little form or a little cross hatching and what you can do with it. And
Yeah.
and then yeah, after a while, I'd start just drawing. It's just start making my own comics. I did one that was based on my friends and stuff, and just made fun of them in them, and yeah, stuff like that.
So you could use it to sort of like in a weird way, probably weren't even thinking about it that this way, but you were sort of like using it as a way to express yourself at that time, you think?
Definitely. And then probably like around 12 or 13, I remember seeing this other guy brought in this picture. It's a picture of a dragon. It's the most amazing picture. And he's the same age as me. He's
Yeah.
like 20 times better. And I was like, I think I pretty much just quit for a long time.
Yeah, I've had moments like that too. I definitely did. And I also remember those moments where like looking at things and trying to copy them, seeing things that my dad would draw because he would doodle. He wasn't like a professional artist or anything, but seeing the way that he would put them together, just watching the way he would put them
Yeah.
together and being able to like go and repeat that. And I remember like figuring out draw a fist, like
Uh-huh.
it's drawing ovals and it
Right.
blowing my mind.
Yeah.
And then like the moment that I was able to put like Garfield together from his pieces.
Man, Garfield, if you can when you get Garfield together for the first time, it's a revelation.
It really is, right? Did you have that too?
Totally. I
Yeah.
remember as a little kid, because you do weird things that you see in children's drawings where the arms are coming out of the side of the body.
Yeah.
And then I remember going, this doesn't look right. And I went in the mirror and looked at my body and seeing they come off your shoulders, and I was like, wow, just figuring like the physical reality versus what's in your mind was just, it blows your mind.
Yeah. I taught preschool for like 18 years.
Uh-huh.
And when they would first come into the class and they would draw stuff, it was always coming out of, the side of the body like that, like out of the rib cage.
Yeah.
And I think I blew a mind or two by like showing them, like, does it look like my arms are coming out of my ribs?
Right. In some ways, you almost don't want to teach them that. It's like,
I know. Yeah. I let them color the hell out of the outlines as much as they wanted to, but I was like, go back to drawing the arms like that because it does look cool and weird. But and by the end, like a lot of the kids when they were drawing were definitely like putting it together with circles and doing things. So it's cool, and I just remember going through those processes myself, and I was like, well, if I could speed some people up, and then on your own like comics journey, so you were reading the stuff your dad was giving you. What hooked you when you became older? Do you recall anything that like just blew your mind and you were like, I have to do this, I have to make comics for a living? Or
I would say the artists that really, I mean, definitely the Popeye artists in Crumb and some of the undergrounds, Gilbert Shelton's Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. Mm-hmm. And then I did like Jack Kirby and stuff, but I never had the discipline to draw human forms. So,
it's because all your arms are coming out of people's rib cages, right?
It's like, what the heck? Come on. So, it was Von Bodie was a big one. He did Cheech Wizard and the Lizards. He just had like this weird Disney style, kind of like Walt Kelly, and that was probably the one that was always in the back of my mind. And so after I quit drawing for a while, when I started again, and I sucked really bad when I started again, but he was kind of like the one I'd look at. And you got to be careful with people like him because he's so simple, but there's and he has a style, and you have to watch out because he also has super good draftsmanship. And that's where people miss, is they copy the style, but they don't get the structure and the form down.
Yeah.
So that was something that I would try and go back to. And that I'm always trying to think about that. Like I want to keep looseness to it, but also be able to do the draftsmanship to a degree.
There are guys like Walt Kelly, and then you can look at people, Crumb, and you can look at people like Alex Toth and people like that, where they can have these complex emotions and the weight of the characters and things just in like a couple simple lines.
Yeah.
Where if that line was a millimeter to the right or curved just a little bit more, it would be not the same thing at all. They just had it.
Yeah.
Either you do or you don't. And I think that you can build to it. But you have to study, like, why is that line working, like that. And so just to copy like a Carl Barks or a Walt Kelly kind of thing like that, it's not gonna,
no,
it's not gonna work for telling the story that you want to tell.
And sometimes you gotta just let the first drawing you do, that's the one. You could try and redo stuff, but you're gonna, a lot of the time you lose what it was about. Like the art was telling you what to do.
Yep.
And then don't get your ego into it.
Right. Yeah, you have to let it tell you what it's going to be sometimes, I think it's a conversation between the way that the ink lays down and your hand sometimes,
Yeah, definitely.
You're in communication with something in the ether or something. I don't know, like
the muse.
Yeah. And then, so what were the first books that you were putting out yourself? You said that you had the one at Fantagraphics. Did you have ones before that?
No, I mean, well, I was working on one. So the ones I was working on before was called Rabid Animal Comics. And it was like these degenerate animals that would run around smoking and drinking and fighting and stuff. And I did about 5 issues of that, and then kind of, life gets in the way, and I quit for about 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Like,
and I should say I did do a couple others. Like I did a porno comic for some other dude. And then believe it or not, I did a Gumby free comic book day comic.
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So somebody saw your porn comics and were like, this guy would be perfect for Gumby.
It's kind of like they were they tabled next to me, and I befriended them, and we'd hang out. And then they got the licensing for Gumby, and then they were having other people doing the strip, and then they got in a pinch where they needed to get something out for free comic book day, and I said, yeah, I could do it. And he surprisingly said okay.
Yeah.
And I did it, and yeah, it was pretty crazy. I remember Joe Clokey was the son of the inventor of Gumby, but he said never let that guy work on Gumby again.
And feather in the cap.
Exactly.
Have you ever seen the Art Adams Gumby stories?
Yeah, those are great.
Who knew that Gumby could be told in a way that's like that great of cartooning?
No, he'd be like the last person I'd pick to do it, and then
I know.
does an amazing job.
Yeah, it's crazy. So you had like 12 years where you weren't really doing comics. You were just living life. This is probably what, like your 20s or something? 30s.
40, yeah.
Yeah, I had a similar period where I wasn't really doing anything for like 10 years. And then was it in the back of your mind? Did you feel like it was calling you back? Like,
yeah, I kind of felt like I always knew I was gonna do it, but I didn't know what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
And like 5 or 6 years ago, I got into meditation, and just trying to calm myself down. And they say you're supposed to clear your mind. So I tried to clear my mind, and that's when this dope cat would come into my head and smoking his blunt, and I was like, I got to get this out of my mind. And I could get it out of my mind. I was like, well, maybe this could be a comic. And then I was like, well, it's dope cat though, and the first thing you think of is like Fritz the cat, and it's like,
sure.
I hear this crap all the time. So I was like, well, maybe if I made him dope dog or dope aardvark or dope bird or something, but nothing fit. And I was like, just do dope cat.
He was telling you he was a cat.
Exactly.
So that was sort of where the idea for this came from. It was through meditation. It was just these kind of intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
Not saying intrusive in a negative way, but just ideas that would pop, and it would just pop into your head and kind of be like.
Yeah, I think it was just like, I mean, I don't know how all the meditation works, but somehow your brain gets a little reconfigured, and it just left it open for this to come in, and it came in, and I put it down on paper.
Yeah. And now you're like almost 5 issues, are 5 issues into it. And
well, yeah, but I have like way more of the story that's done, and I've been publishing on social media and stuff, but no, I have like over 10 issues probably worth of stuff. And then actually I have way more because I did a whole color version too.
Yeah, you're putting that out online, right? Or are you?
Yeah, I haven't been putting it out as much online, but I was for a while. Yeah, I might.
Sure.
That.
Yeah, the color version's interesting, because you don't often see, things from the black and white era, in full color, and it's cool to see the choices that you made for the colors of these characters. I've only known these characters in black and white, and then to see them in color, I was like, oh, okay. So there's like some patterns here, and there's some interesting things going on.
It's fun.
All right, so let's take a look at Dope Cat, the cat that smokes dope. Also, so there is sort of there's a story that kind of runs through all of them a little bit. Like, you could pick up any one of these and read it, and it's going to be fine.
Right.
but there is sort of like elements that go through, like he's also kind of on a war. Like, would you say that he's on a war against plastic?
That was the second issue.
Yeah.
That was like a whole thing because everyone's always talking about plastics and everything, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it's basically me like trying to get plastic out and just like it's in freaking everything. And the more you try and get it out, it seems like, well, no, that's plastic too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Even your glass Tupperware has a plastic cap on it, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Trust me, my wife's trying to get rid of plastic. I know the struggle is real.
yeah. So and then it just led into because I never wanted to do like a long story or anything. So I figured after that, then I'll do something else. But it just kept going into this long ass story that there is a plot to it, but if you cannot figure out what the plot is, don't, A, you don't probably need it, and
Yeah.
B, it's like
Don't
it's
stress.
strange. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I kind of love about it, is that you, like I said, you can pick up any one issue, and that's the only issue you'll ever, you might. I don't know why this thing keeps going out, but it pops back in. And you'd be fine. But
Yeah.
if you get all the other ones, like there is like some interconnecting through lines to all of them, and I love that. So let's pop it open here. So this is Dope Cat. This is the guy. This is him.
That is him.
And,
pussy contest.
yeah, man. So you kind of like open every one of them with him kind of getting into some sort of like chasing his libido shenanigans, and every single time it's a real short thing, right? And
Yeah, like
every single time his wife shows up, right?
Oh my gosh, she just ruins everything.
Like, maybe you shouldn't be married, dude. But it's almost like the show opener. So the way that you have this thing laid out, I guess they kind of did it in like Golden Age Funny Animal comics and stuff too, where they kind of lay it out like a variety show almost.
Yeah, I was thinking more like the old like Bullwinkle cartoons where they have bro and then they do an episode and then they do have a little in between stuff.
Yeah. And so after you get the thing where he's like hiding out between this cat's legs and gonna get hit with a frying pan, you go right into what's that?
It's a great hiding place.
Yeah, it's a great hiding place. And part of the reason that I picked this issue is because he gets into much more extreme situations in the other ones too in the beginning. So just for YouTube's sake. The intro was probably the least one. But it's also a really great one to set up things because it starts us out at the high seas. So Dope Cat is on the seas. He's blazing on the high seas.
Yes, he is.
And this is Drunky is his name, right?
That's his name, Drunky Duck.
Drunky Duck. And he's not opposed to smoking weed, but he'd much rather hit the bottle. Is that
probably
fair to say?
Yeah, very much so.
Because if you're gonna captain a boat,
he should be a drunk.
You should be drunk, right?
Yes.
So as it's going on, he's got his crew of friends. You've got Dog Shit.
Yeah, it's the breakout character.
Yep, and Dirty Rat, right?
Correct.
So Dog Shit's the breakout character. Is he gonna have a spinoff?
He might. I don't know.
that would be great. And everybody in the book sort of speaks in this like phonetic. You write it in this sort of phonetic way. Like there are no words that are spelled correctly. Well, not no words, but many words that aren't spelled correctly. So what was the choice to kind of like have him speak that way?
Well, it was really just that was the characters. That's just the way they sound to me in my head.
Sure.
Obviously, if you look at like, the old Crazy Cats, they talked weird, and I think Pogo talked weird. Bombo D was talking about they talk weird. So
everybody's like sort of accent or whatever, just the way that they speak, you just write it phonetically.
Yeah, and sometimes I'm writing it down. I'm like, this would be a good punchline if anyone could understand what they're saying.
So the thing is the first time you pick up a Dope Cat comic, it's going to take you a minute to get in the groove of the way that you're writing, the way that they speak. But then about like a quarter of the way you're in it, and it moves at a pretty good clip at that point.
Yeah, and if English is your second language, you might just want to pick up something else.
I don't know. It's written phonetically. It might make more sense.
Maybe.
So like the crew, they're not, here they are, they're bright-eyed. You see the whites of their eyes. Everybody's hanging out, nice and fresh. And so, he's piloting the ship, and he's going to go check on them. He's supposed to be swabbing the deck, and the mop bucket has not been moved. And he goes back, and everybody, the cabin is full of smoke, and their eyes are blazing. And so you like kind of indicate that by putting this horizontal line, diagonal line, hatching over their eyes.
Oh yeah,
it's great. I love it. So as we go on, he's pissed, but now he's getting the second hand, the contact high, and so he's good too. He's gonna hit it, and everything's good. And so they're like, hey, what are we even like moving here? This is a cargo ship. What's the cargo? And he's like, I don't know. Like basically, like some shady guy came up to me and was like, I can't get anybody else to ship this thing. Will you do it? And he was like, he couldn't find any other suckers that are desperate enough. And they're like, so he got you drunk ass, didn't he? And he's like, hell yes. They're just cracking up at him because they know their buddy. Right? So yeah, they got this weird guy got him drunk, and so they have no idea what they're hauling. And they're thinking like, it could be like meth, or it could be, don't they say something like that, or it could be like plutonium or something like that.
Something weird.
Yeah, and they're like, what the heck? And he's like, oh, guys, we want to go see what it is. He's like, leave it. Don't go see what it is. Don't even dare open that crate. And they're like, oh, come on. It's like any cartoon where you tell someone not to do something. They got to do it, right?
Yeah.
So, to to appease them, he gives them a box full of fruit pies because they're, baked out of their minds. And
works every time.
Yeah. I mean, a crate full of fruit pies is...
It's all over.
Yeah, I'm done for the day. And so they're sort of like hanging out on the deck, and in comes this seagull who is friends with Drunky. And he's like, yeah, we're taking a cargo, and blah blah blah. And he's like, I've been that's crazy. He's like, what have you been up to? And he's like, oh, I was the prince's main man at this place because they're taking this cargo to this prince, right, in this far off land.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I was his right hand man. And he's like you were, but like, why aren't you now? And he's like, oh, he's gonna roast me now because I went out one night to the pub and I knocked back a few and I got really drunk and I came home and I flew in my window and I sat down and I had to take a shit, but I was like too drunk to like even get up and move. So I was just like, I'm going to shit the bed. But then it turned out I wasn't in my bed. I was sitting on the prince's face. And so now he wants me dead. So he's like, oh my God. So he's like, I fled and I like disguised myself and I went on this other ship and they were like, oh yeah, you know, you can sail with us. You can, we can use you as a scout. And then he's like, it turned out he's a pirate, and he's looking for this ship that's hauling some cargo to the prince. And Drunky's like always aloof. He's like, I'd hate to be that dumbass, right? Whoever's hauling the stuff for the prince, even though he just told him he was hauling stuff for the prince. He's like,
what a coincidence.
Yeah. Until Cat's like, dude, he's talking about us. We gotta like do something to stop him. And so they get him good and drunk, and they start playing him some tunes. And they get him high, and he knocks out. And they haul him down to the basement, and he's like, yeah, he was like talking about how he's working for some pirate named Teal, in his sleep, he says Tealbeard.
Yeah.
And Drunky spits out his drink, so you know that it's serious.
That's a cartoon way of saying this is really serious.
I mean, and also it's Drunky, so like
he wouldn't spit his drink out for
no. So he talks about how Tealbeard is like the worst of the worst. He like killed and ate his whole family without even any ketchup.
Nope.
And he took the money and just all he wanted, and bought a crew and a ship, and just so he could like set the high seas ablaze. Blazing the high seas, right?
Yeah.
So come full circle. Yeah, and now he's looking for our sorry asses. And so he's like, what the heck? What are we gonna do? Well, we're gonna have to like, let's not bug the other two guys. They're sleeping. We'll just stay up all night and stay on watch, until they get up. Let them rest. We're good friends. We can do this. We're gonna be up all night. We're gonna be up all
night.
So when you're writing, I was told by somebody, a friend of mine who does like these like kind of like cartoon and comedic strips.
Yeah.
They were told by like an old timer that the way to do it, the best way to do it, is to think about every page as a gag.
Okay.
And the punchline is at the end of every page. Do you and every gag, it doesn't have to be every page, probably. It can be like a couple, but if you really got to set it up. But do you kind of look at it that way? Like you're telling the story, but then there's also like a gag, and you like nail it on the period on the last panel.
No, I definitely do, because when I was posting them, thinking like a newspaper comic strip. So each one of these pages is kind of like one strip.
Sure.
So yeah, each one's kind of has a standalone gag to it.
So sort of out of necessity, you were doing that like naturally.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, because there's like some things that I want to do that involve like funny animal cartoons too. It's such a weird thing to call it, but that's what it's been called since like the 30s.
Yeah, they call them Big Feet too.
Do they?
Yeah.
Because does that then encompass like things that have cartoons of humans?
I guess like Elmer Fudd could be a Bigfoot because he's not really an animal.
Or like Little Abner or something.
I don't know. Little Abner is more proportionately correct, stylized, but he does have big feet though. So I think it's a smaller person with big feet. I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then you drop off here and you go into like an ad for like a fake ad for Dope Cat seeds, so you don't have to like get ripped off by your dealer.
Correct.
It's got, so I didn't get a chance, but I wanted to see if this QR code worked. Does it work?
It does work. It'll take you to my store.
Okay.
But you can't buy seeds there.
No, that's too bad.
So.
Should work something out, like some sort of promotional deal with one of the shops.
It's funny at conventions, I always end up with like a bunch of pre-rolls and gummies and stuff that people drop off.
Do they?
Yeah.
Have you been approached at all by like a lot of the just like not the companies that are rolling out like weed products and stuff like that?
Just kind of a little bit, and like
Yeah.
I'll do some weed festivals and stuff. So yeah, I'll meet a lot of people, but I haven't really done work for anybody that I can think of in that realm. Nah.
I've been approached by so many people, and they always seem to like it goes pretty far in the talks, and then all of a sudden they disappear.
Yeah.
I think it's because a lot of these companies like fold, and then new ones come to take their place.
Probably.
And then also like they're like enjoying the product too much and just like lose track. Like, some of them have staying power now. We've had it legal long enough now to where there's like definitely the brands that have risen to the top. But
yeah,
it would be kind of cool to have a sponsorship. You know,
freaking awesome.
Pay for my printing of my books, and I'll put an ad in here.
Yeah, I was thinking if I get like a weed company or something, like just at the top of each comic, sponsored by blah blah blah. You know.
Have you ever approached? And you must have. Have you ever approached any like dispensaries or place?
Yeah, I've had dispensaries that have gotten not the comics, but pins or shirts or stickers or stuff like that.
But they've never gotten the comics.
Not for the shops. I don't know. I'm going. There's actually one that's nearby me. They have like events. I'm talking to them about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll see.
It's interesting because the history of this style of comic is just like steeped in the old head shop now, which is now going into dispensaries, you know, which are like Apple stores now.
Yeah,
they're so sanitized.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
that shops are more underground counterculture, and now because it's more, and you know I shouldn't say all of them because people do like my stuff, but at the dispensaries, but to carry it, it's like because my stuff's kind of grungy and like not politically correct, so
right.
They're trying to make their stuff look wholesome almost, and then mine's gonna just
to tarnish all of that.
Like that.
Yeah. It's like taking a dump in the middle of the again white room. Not saying that your comics are taking a dump.
So I take
your comics are the white room.
I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, it's just interesting because there are still like shops that, because if you go into a dispensary, they're not selling like, at least the ones in around me, they're not selling like bongs, and a lot of them aren't selling like the stuff to use. So there's still like smoke shops or whatever and head shops like around.
Yeah.
I wonder if those places would be more like open to something like that.
Yeah, that's definitely a place to get into and look at that for sure.
I'm just always thinking about places that comics could be where people could see them and impulse buy them, you know?
Yeah, I think comics are great for stoners. I mean,
yeah, and some company would be really smart if they would partner with you, and like, even if they're like mini, half the size or whatever, and like for every delivery, it comes with a mini comic, you know? Because once you're, you know, lit and that thing's sitting in front of you, you're going to be laughing your ass off about it. It's perfect. It's interactive.
I'm trying to end illiteracy one stoner at a time.
That's right. For the kids.
Yes.
And then I love this part.
This is my a buddy I met up in Seattle, actually.
Okay.
So his name's Adam Ivan. And he did this, and he did a real cool poster for me, too.
I wasn't sure because I guess I see it now in the corner, but at first I thought maybe you were trying like a different sort of underground style.
No.
But this is sort of Lil Dope Cat.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. By Adam Ivan. I kind of got lost in it. because
Yeah,
the nature of underground comics are sometimes that they're busy, and because they're black and white, there's not a lot for you to pull your focus things, and it can get like you have to like engage with it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I totally missed that.
No, he packs a lot into each page.
Yeah. So like this is a story where he goes, this little dope cat is like in space, and he goes and smokes this like bong, but it's like laced with like fentanyl or something,
I don't know, something like
some
that.
sort of other drug, and he
It's a
goes down this.
tale.
What's that?
It's a cautionary tale.
Yeah. He yeah, and yeah, that similar thing has happened to me before. um, and so yeah, he kind of goes on this bad trip, and like these Cubert looking like alien things are like he's seeing, and he just like has to try to get away from them, and so he's like by the end he's like, I ain't smoking anything but bud. And then before you get back into part 2, you always have these like you have these little moa like things where he's, you know, kind of talking to this girl cat.
Yeah.
So that's like a motif like you kind of have in, is it in every issue? Like almost, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that it's this is where to me like the pattern of doing something like that is so vital to comics. And I think that not enough people think about that when they're laying out their books.
No.
And I think that like I like equate it to music sometimes,
Uh-huh.
where like it's like, you know, the beginning, the intro, this and that, you know.
Yeah.
And the chorus.
I think I've seen a lot of people that are writing now that do independent comics. They're trying to, it looks like they're writing a movie, and it doesn't pace well, and it's boring as a comic.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of comic readers are also like very ADHD. I know I am. And when you break something up like that, it is so much better for me to have a rest on something. It doesn't have to be some sort of epic thing in the issue. You can break it up and do other things and then come back to it. And I really love that.
Yeah, even a word balloon with too many words can be intimidating to a comic book reader.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in the next episode. But so we're back, and you just kind of give this like almost like a secondary cover image, basically here.
Yeah, it's like an intro thing.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, sort of, yeah.
Working
like
on my
poster for it or something, right?
Yeah.
So we pick up where we left off. They're snoozing away. Everybody's snoozing. And the seagull is still saying Tealbeard in his sleep. And then all of a sudden you get this little rumble coming out of his butt.
You do. It happens.
Yeah. And pop! And this little smiley face guy pops out.
Yeah.
As the reader, you're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Exactly.
And it is this little evil bottle cap.
Yeah.
So you're left going, well, how the hell did that get in there? And what's the story of this thing? And if you read the other ones, you know about the war on plastic. So
yeah.
It's like microplastics in his system, I guess, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This thing is like just whatever.
So this bottle cap pops out of his butt, and it takes off. Obviously, it's got mean eyes. You know it's up to no good. And it finds a nail, and it sees Dope Cat sleeping. Comes up and stabs him right in the foot while he's sleeping. And then it taunts him. So he's pissed now. And it's jumping all over the place. And it gets onto Drunky, and of course, Dope Cat goes for it, misses the bottle cap, hits Drunky. Drunky's like, why the hell? Are you doing that? And then we find out that the thing has the key to the cargo ship. So they got to stop this thing.
Wow.
Everybody's waking up now, and they tell them what's going on. And they're like, all right, so this is how we're going to do it. This is the plan. This is the big plan. Okay. He's been thinking about this. We're going to run around the ship willy-nilly and find the gooba and get the key. All right, let's do it. Brilliant. That's the plan. I love that. And so off they go in completely random directions. Do you draw this? How do you draw this? Are you using traditional tools?
No, it's on an iPad, and it's the app. It's similar to Procreate, and it's called Comic Draw.
Okay.
But to be honest, if I had it over to do, I just use Procreate.
Yeah.
Because it's basically the same thing. And that's how I do it. And then all those the dots is all it's just one of the pen things you can use.
Right.
And get all that in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good because whatever brush you're using, it's you can't really tell that it's digital, and you're not like really snapping any lines in place. There's no straight lines except for the borders, so it still feels like it's natural, like you're
it's all freehand on the everything.
Yeah. Oh, it looks good, man. So we get Tom and Jerry stuff going on here. So dog shit is using a sniffer, finds a mouse hole, sticks it in there, and the old hammer comes down and knocks him out. I've been watching a lot of like old cartoons on YouTube.
Okay.
And almost every single one either has like a hammer smashing someone's head in or someone getting their head blown off. And it's like people talk about it still and stuff, but you forget how like it was in literally every cartoon back in the day. It's so funny because like you just do not see that anymore. Like Adventure Time isn't blowing anybody's head off.
You know what I mean? They need to bring that back.
Yeah, bring it back.
They'd have the dude at the end of the cartoon and go, "No, I see everything." Pulls out, boom.
Yeah, exactly. And then the mouse, he comes, he sees some cheese, but of course it's it's a trap, and he's like, "Oh, cool. Can you slide me over that cheese, bro?" And hammer to the face. And Drunky now, he's walking around, he's trying to find him, so he's like, I'm gonna take a swig. And I love that he twists off the cap, and the cap is this. Of course. Yeah. He snuck onto the bottle.
Only a drunk can fall for that.
Only a drunk can fall for that. So now everybody except for Dope Cat is tied up in the ship. And so, Dope Cat's walking around and lights his thing, and oh my God, here it is. It's got a knife. So he blows the smoke on it because he just, lit the sucker, and the smoke changes his perspective, gets him a little lit, and he offers the key like as a friend. So he offers him the blunt, but he's plastic. So as he puffs, he also melts. And, as Dope Cat finishes his blunt, in a way, he also melts.
Melt too.
And that's where it ends. However, it sort of picks up in Ride the Purple Dragon, right?
Yes,
the story does continue.
Yes, it does.
And I love the ads for the more Dope Cat stuff. You can see they're opening a metal thing that's attached to my wall, and it might get loud here for a second, but that's just like, I don't know, man. They're just fun comics. They're like fun and silly, and you got it out of your head exactly where it needed to be. And then you have basically been going around and doing a lot of shows, right?
A lot of shows, yeah. That's where I sell most of them, and then on Kickstarter and online and stuff.
Yeah. Do you? So I've seen you. You were just at San Diego. You were at WonderCon, right?
Yeah.
You do. I know. Obviously, you do Emerald City. You do LA Comic Con. Sometimes. Are you going to do LA Comic Con coming up?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to be out of town for that one, but
yeah, there's one in well, actually, it's not in Berkeley. It's in Alameda, which is right next to Berkeley. But it's a shop. It's a cool shop in Oakland called Cape and Cowl. But they do a
yeah, I know Cape and Cowl.
event each
Yeah.
year. Yeah. And then I'll be at a weed festival in Humboldt County, and then Rose City Comic Con in Oregon. I did that a few years back, a couple times.
Yeah.
And I'll be doing Small Press Expo again in Baltimore.
Okay, you're gonna do the SPX. I've never done SPX. How does that work for you? Is it pretty good?
The first time is actually the first time I ever lost money on a convention.
Really?
You know, that the airfare and the hotel and everything, it didn't pan out. But I feel like I have enough stuff now, because that was when I was first starting out too.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be good. But it was fun. Like, the people they're cool, and I caught it with some people that I haven't seen since I first started doing comics, which is cool.
So you mostly do West Coast shows?
Mostly West Coast, yeah. The only ones I did outside, I did one in Austin, the Staple.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it was a small one, but that was really fun. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, shit. If you are at a show, go and see Mike, and I'm sure that he'll do the pitch for you.
I'll do the pitch for you.
I need to get one of those hats, man. That's next on my list of things. I love those things. And or otherwise, you can go to Dope Cat Comics /store. Is that right?
I don't know.
Yeah. Look up Dope Cat Comics and you'll find it.
Yeah.
Where are you on the socials?
Instagram is probably the main one I do. Dope Cat Comics. So, yeah.
All right, I'll put all that stuff in the show notes, and hopefully, you sell a ton more books, because they're just really fun, and I love that they exist, and I can't wait to see more, and anything I can do to help spread the word about Dope Cat Comics, man, let me know.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much for coming on, dude.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Later.
Join my Patreon to see my work before anyone else. Plus, score physical sketchbooks, mini comics, and commissions delivered right to your door. And reading my new books, Something Seems Off and Three-Headed Pigman, as they are made. Go to my website to order original art, commissions, and my books, Lost Angels, Spectral: A Showcase of Fear, Chaotic Neutral, and more. Gray Matter Drip, The Art of Chris Anderson, is available now from Cosmic Lion Productions. Here are the upcoming conventions I'll be at the time of this recording. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. It helps spread the word. Thanks.